Hello, welcome back to my channel, Tarot with Anne-Marie. So, we are looking tonight at the Six of Cups. So, Six of Cups, beautiful card, emotions again, carrying on our journey through the cup family and all to do with the emotions. Don't forget that the element of water is connected to Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So, it applies to the Ace of the Ace to 10 of Cups. We're going to get started with this beautiful card, the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups pictures two children, and they're in a garden, with the older child offering a younger child a cup of flowers. And the children represent warm childhood memories or recalling the past. It's about the safety of our earlier years and perceived simpler times in our lives. This can also show the inner child that is in our heart and where our home life is, and it can take us back to a time when life felt easy. So the little girl is a young child. You can see her mittens and her blonde hair, which is representing her youth. The images show a moment when she's been offered the gift but has yet to have the time to take it. Her face is looking up in pleasant wonder. Her clothes are mixed, showing her youth and playfulness. She's wearing an orange cowl, which suggests her enthusiasm, and echoed by her spotted dress. So her clothes are mixed, showing her youth and playfulness, and she's wearing this orange cowl. Now, orange is a colour that will show her enthusiasm, and that's echoed with her pretty spotted dress. In some versions of this card, it can be a pale green with black polka dots, either in yellow or with orange dots, depends on which deck you're actually looking at. Rider-Waite deck is always, of course, the important one to look at because so many symbols and nuances that you can get. Little girl is showing her trust and that she's loyal and loving, and she's energetic and lively. So both are fitting for a child with this polka dot dress, showing her to be young and enthusiastic. Her blue underdress tells us that she's calm and trusting by very nature. The red in her shoes symbolizes optimism, a desire to receive, curiosity, positivity, and of course, excitement. The white of her mittens is a sign that she trusts the gift giver. She's innocent of it being anything, and she's totally pure. If we look at the older child or the taller child, he's wearing an orange chaperone hat with a tail. And this is a hat that I was told it's a lyric pipe, which means it's a hat with a shawl. In some versions, their hats are either orange or red or a version of mixed up of both. And the younger child can wear the orange and the older child wearing red. And in this one, it looks like it's exactly that. It's helping keep them warm and dry. And it's also a bit of frivolity, passion statement, something that's fun. So this being orange for the younger child means that they want fun, play, and there's something here for them to enjoy and a desire to please. And the older child lovingly hands the cup and the flower to the child. With his blue coat, he's equally a trusting soul, and his brown boots show his sincerity. In some versions of the Rider-Waite deck, both children's clothes are a little bit ragged, which shows that sometimes the girls clothes are frayed at the ends and the boy's tunic is patched with the sleeve, representing that it's not about money, wealth, or status, but genuine affection for affection's sake, and seeing the past minus all of its hardships, which is rather lovely. So the children's ages indicate a difference in time and how that time of an era or an age can cause events to occur, and so that we can perceive memories that are frozen in time. Memories don't mature with us, they come with the feelings that we imbued of how we felt at that age and what was going on and what we were feeling when we were experiencing them. And that leaves us traveling back in time to want to revisit them. So the cup that's handed to the smaller child or the younger child or little girl emulates the act of passing down a gift, belonging, tradition, heritage, beliefs, ideals, support, affection, generosity, and gifts for the celebration of love. And all of this is done with warmth and sincerity. So he is gifting something that one day will turn out to be a memory. And if we look, we have 4 cups standing upright in the foreground, which represents the memory of this scene, and the 4 actions on emotions and how it can restrict them. And so this gives a narrow view of things that's gone and where we find a memory and how we see it from a certain viewpoint. And this is usually with like tunnel vision. And as in the 4 of Cups, which we've covered, we can get lost in how things were. Yet here, all the 4 cups are together rather than separated. And the Ace of Cups is being gifted. And so we might be wearing rose-tinted glasses, seeing only the good times from the past. The last cup is placed on a concrete plinth, and that bears a coat of arms. And that shield represents protection. And the cross is a deep belief in the past, and the coat of arms itself is a sign of history, memory, honouring past events, and placing that cup high on top is showing respect and reverence for the past. If we look at the base of that concrete plinth, we can see some ivy, and it's spreading along the grass near the eldest child. And that is symbolic of energy and holding on to the past, immortality, and affection. All those lovely things of which fond memories actually are. So the white flowers are placed in the cups as if they were vases. So this is a playful use of symbolism. And it shows that we can take the past and use it in a very imaginative way. And equally, we can stick to the way that it used to be, i.e. the traditional and old ways. Now, those white flowers might be white cypress, which is symbolic of eternal love and remembrance, or Astrowhites, which symbolizes friendship. With these Astrowhites, or the white cypress flower, which are symbolic of eternal love and remembrance, they've got 5 petals, and these tiny white flowers are a sign of hope and protection. This is such a lovely card. Now we've got a house in the background, and that represents home. And home is a place to return to, and it's a time of safety. It's about family, childhood, youth, happiness, when things were carefree, and friendship. Beautiful card, isn't it? So we can be transported back to a time when we were free from any responsibility. The garden symbolizes safety, and that's echoed by a guard that's patrolling the grounds with a spear. Now, you'd need to look really carefully. It's on the left. If we look at the plinth, the concrete plinth there, and the cup that's behind the taller child. If you look to the left, you can see what looks like a tower, which we'll talk about. And very left, the card, as if it was a clock face at 9 o'clock. You can see this guard patrolling grounds with a spear. This guard is walking on a secure and robust pathway, a sign of protection and safe boundaries. His presence allows the children freedom to explore, have fun, enjoy moments of innocence and joy in the safety, the knowledge that he's there. Sometimes we all just need to return home and be with those who love us. And besides the house, on the left there is that tower that I was telling you about. That's built on firm ground, not like the tower in the major arcana. And it's showing us it was built with sincere ideals. Yet, it's still a tower. So there may not be ideals, but this is something that represents being gifted from years gone by, and memories make you need to review the past. Bit of a legacy, really. And the Six of Cups brings the past back into your life and feelings of warmth and comfort, to a time when our needs were met and to a time when we could play. We can feel genuine affection and friendship flowing from the past, bringing us gentle moments of thoughtfulness and reflection. So this is the card that's concerning itself with the past and the security that we can find in nostalgia, stirring up memories that prompt us to look at people and events from the past. And the gift representing the past is offered to that child who represents the future. This is something that's really special, isn't it? Look at that. She is representing the absolute future. And she's reaching out to him with her right mitten. As white as the one that we see on the left, and as white as the flowers, showing the emotions of the past, meeting the present. So, very symbolic of this card. So it's a time to reach into the past to help here and now. A time to greet memories, open our hearts to who we once were, and a time for innocence and sincerity. Obviously, we've got the number 6, and that is all about progress, ease, attraction, diplomacy. And so this is a card that suggests that the past will give you answers to your problems. From memories, you'll be able to move forwards, and it's a time to connect to what you've lost or experience moving forwards with a spring in your step. This is the card of maybe old names and faces that are popping up, giving you things to consider. Perhaps reviving your old dreams and allowing you to talk about the past. So the Six of Cups shows a return of the past, which will affect the present. So this can be in the form of thoughts and memories. This can be promoted by events, more usually people. But it can also be something like a song or a smell that takes you back to early times in your life. And the past is being presented to us in one form or another, and feelings that are connected to this nostalgia, heartwarming and welcoming. It can bring up the past issues for you to reminisce and review. Your mind might be in the past for happy memories that taking center stage in your life right now. This is very significant of what's going on for me and very unusual for me over the last month that I have felt like this. It's really lovely. And you can look back on events to get inspiration from the present and the future, even if our memories are not pure. It just means that we're connecting to the people that were involved and connecting to those memories. And sometimes the past can be a topic of conversation. Maybe we're feeling homesick. Maybe we're feeling whimsical about our past and enjoy spending time reliving it, either alone or with friends or family. This is a card that means that a relationship will resurrect itself. So maybe from an old friend who will suddenly, unexpectedly come into our lives and we'll hear from them. It's about places and faces from your past, including family, old friends, ex-lovers, and that can appear and have some deep influences on you. It's a card of celebrating the past and reunions. Yet this card can also show acts of kindness that give you peace, hope, happiness, and make you feel very connected to yourself and the giver. So it's a beautiful card of home and childhood memories. Some more keywords are emotional security, being cared for, giving and receiving, openness, goodwill, kindness. Sometimes the card are charity, gift, blessings, simple joy, helping, forgiveness, apologies, peace, harmony, protected, calmness, contentment, the past, nostalgia, familiarity, innocence, trust, playful. Memories, reminiscing, of course, trips down memory lane, old friends, the good old days. So we just need to know that we are looking at something that allows us to feel that we can resurrect something from the past. And so the Six of Cups is displaying this scenario, giving us a feeling of an atmosphere that is calm and home. And sometimes we crave what is security, and we just need something that's steady in our lives because we've been coping with enough change. And so in the Six of Cups, our figures got their family members, we hope, and they are at home and they are cared for and they're loved back in a very natural, warm, caring way. And it's showing that we feel our most comfortable selves because we're in the heart of what's family or friends. And we want to feel that sense of protection. And we don't want to feel any pain that's been happening recently or anything that's caused us to feel stressed. As we look at our children here, you can see that they've probably been through some good and bad times. And they may have shared tears and laughter. And the very act of kindness begins to remove things that have made us feel sad, like the Five of Cups. So this is a progression from that. And in the Six of Cups, the loyal friend is standing by and looking for nothing in return. So this is what friends are for, isn't it? This is a card of deep friendship, and probably that they have a history and that they may go way back, a long way. and that they're revisiting their past, childhood memories, innocence, joy. So it's a big card of living in the past, of course, but it's a card of saying that it's about forgiveness, and it's also allowing playfulness to come into our lives. And so in the Six of Cups, we're seeing this young boy leaning and passing that cup filled with flowers to the younger girl. And the girl is looking up to the boy with love and respect as he offers those flowers to her. Love, harmony, cooperation, they're all big elements of the Six of Cups in such gentle act. And the young children also represent childhood memories. And in the background, we see the older man away in the distance, as if he no longer needs to worry about anything to do with adulthood. It's just there, walking away. We don't have to worry about that. So you can enjoy the moment being youthful, young, innocent, and free from burdens. And the children also appear to be standing in a courtyard or a large home. And that symbolizes safety, comfort, and security. And those cups, those 4 cups that are standing up, that filled with flowers in the foreground, are there, and the 5th cup sits on a pedestal behind the boy. So it's a card that takes us back to happy memories from our past, whether we were a child or teenager, and traveling back in our mind. It might be that we hear from people out of the blue, school, maybe a reunion with anybody, neighbours, reconnecting with an old buddy, teenage sweetheart, past lover. So it's that burning question, will my ex ever come back? Is this the card you're looking for? These connections bring joy, happiness, and reminiscence of all the fun times that we've had together. This might happen when you still have a common wish to continue with a relationship with somebody. And so the Six of Cups is often showing increased harmony and cooperation within relationships. So it's about giving and receiving without any expectation, which is rather beautiful. It means we're willing to give each other the benefit of the doubt and to move on from anything that's challenging our emotions with the 5 of Cups. So it's about turning over a new leaf and starting afresh into a much more positive place. And the 6 of Cups invites us to connect with our inner child and experience fun, freedom, innocence, and feel youthful again. And we might like to just want to be like a child, putting the music on, dancing, doing the things that we love, not being serious, not taking responsibility, spending time in play and fun. And we might permit ourselves to be really playful, spontaneous, creative, and be more in line with your vitality of your authentic self. Go with your intuition on that, because it's telling you that you need that time of innocence and that liveliness in your life. And it signifies that you need more play, laughter. And we learn so much through those experiences. Children can often really teach us something about ourselves. It can be wonderful reflection and really help us to stay in that present moment, be open-minded, to be inquisitive, to be curious, because they see the world as magic. And life can be magical. And our hearts are open to so many pleasures that we should copy and teach us that. And so if we've not got children around us, we need to possibly look at the youthful child, the inner child within ourselves. If this card came up and we were looking at, say, career, work, or finances, it can tell us that I know it can be confusing, but it's a card, if you think about it, that you're returning back to something that's familiar to you in a work setting, or even a place from your childhood. So it might be location, might be something you used to do. Think back to that. And it's also a card telling you that you'll experience cooperation, joy, and harmony in your work. And others are really willing to help you succeed. You've got that support in a very innocent, gentle, caring way. Financially, if this comes up again, people go, "Oh, what does it mean?" It just suggests that someone might offer you financial gift. Someone from the past. Might be through your family, might be inheritance, might be something that you go, "Gosh, somebody's left that to me. I always loved that coat or that ring." It doesn't always have to be money. And if we look at the personality of the Six of Cups, no surprise for knowing they're very childlike, very youthful, very generous, very innocent, sometimes naive, gullible, but they've got that wonderful, playful spark, and it's in their eyes, and they connect well, just like children do, because they're so in touch with their inner child. They're open, loving, and genuine, and they just love to share their gifts, their time, and there's so many blessings in that. And they don't want anything in return, or if they do, it's very little. They just want to spend time with you. There's nothing more precious you can give them. And they may like to live in the past, because the past can be full of some very happy memories. If this comes up in a reading and it's about love and relationships, now, if that person is looking for love, then the Six of Cups suggests that they may be reuniting with a past love or someone that comes from their childhood background. But the relationship is going to be different this time because they're not children and they have evolved and they've matured. Could also be that one is thinking about previous relationships and partners and considering whether to explore the relationship again, even if you're already with someone else. Or if you've recently broken up with a partner, Six of Cups shows that you often reflect upon that past relationship. And you probably want to know what their intentions are. And it's very easy to get caught up in how the relationship used to be and forget what it became. So it's a lot of nostalgia and memories, how we felt. So even if that was a remarkable past together, there'll probably be the need to assess the relationship and what it is now. If this comes up in spiritual advice, what is this telling me? Connect with your inner child. Look for that playful spirit that lies within, because you'll be very glad that you do. Don't be so serious. You may enjoy returning to familiar things or revisiting spiritual rituals that you did in your childhood. Wonderful things, places you went. They invoke feelings, memory, happiness. And we might even be looking at tracing back into family lineage, ancestors, all those kind of things that would actually connect you with your past. You might be looking at family tree, things that would make you feel, gosh, people from school, uh, geographically, perhaps where you were born, where you actually went to school, all sorts of different things. In a well-being position, this can tell you that if this card comes up, that the answers lie somewhere in your childhood, and that would help you understand your emotions and give you some vital clues as to what you're actually experiencing now. And, that might be even childhood illnesses that, gosh, I've always been susceptible to this ailment, get chesty or wheezy or bronchial, or I ache and I burn in the sun, or I get chilblains, things like that, that you actually go stems from there. And that can help you in the present moment and help you to benefit as in how to work with them. Sometimes when this card comes up, a question that we can ask is whether we're clinging to the past too much and whether we're losing sight of the present, because it's okay to be reflective, and nostalgia can bring up some really positive or maybe negative feelings. But you might find yourself wishing for how things used to be. And you might be missing out on opportunities right in front of you. Spiritually, it could be providing the answers of what you need to do next. And it's okay. We can indulge in reminiscing, but we need to link up. What is it telling us? What is it saying our inner child's wanting? Do we want to be free of burdens? Do we want to be able to play, to have fun? I know that's what mine's been. So I've been working too hard and it's, come on, time to play. So you see, you've got to look at why you're feeling like that. Of course, nice to go home. Sometimes we're homesick. That too. Nobody gets younger, do they? We all get older. We need to understand that past does connect us with now and can provide a lot of answers, especially if it's in the spiritual position. And sometimes we can see that the Six of Cups gives us the opportunity to make peace with the past so we can focus on the now, the here and now. And we can learn from mistakes, but it's a big card of forgiveness as well. Saying sorry, reconciliation. If this comes in position, which we'll be covering Tuesday, when we can do combination cards, it's about learning from our mistakes, forgiving ourselves and others, and knowing that life is a constant cycle where we're evolving, and that we let go of the past and we bring that attention firmly into the present. So the Six of Cups can also signify that we've lost touch with our inner child and become as dull as dishwater, stale, repetitive, overwhelmed, or that we've been closed off to new opportunities and gifts from the universe because we're taking on too much responsibility and we're being too mature and adult. Guilty of that one. Sometimes it's really good to have an open mind and to be curious and to have fun and behave like a child again. And that can be sports, that can be play. I recently said, oh gosh, I'd love to revisit museums, churches, those kind of nostalgic things. Why? Because I'm in a place that doesn't really have that kind of culture. And yeah, it's about what to do about that. Listening to music, not necessarily from the past, but how many of us used to, perhaps still do. You've got all the, if you're busy, you think, oh, I'll put some music on later. The joy, music, so much healing, to read. I've been doing all of those things, I have to be honest with you. Reading more, listening to music, knew some of things from my past, thinking about location that I was born in, thinking about maybe going back to that location, relocating after many years. Just had my second Saturn return, so it's a long time ago, to where we're comfortable. And I tell you, a good thing in a reading, just on a side point here, if you are looking to be comfortable because the Six of Cups is very much it's so lovely to read for a card. The energy of this card is just gorgeous. But if you're looking to where you are comfortable, when you put your reading out, look at your moon, because your moon will tell you, especially if you look at your natal chart. Don't forget we've got natal chart on the website. If you're learning tarot, it's really, my method is very much infused with astrology. And of course, the cups are with the element of water, and that is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But that's our sun signs, isn't it? What about where your moon is? So if you go onto the natal chart on the website, they're all free. Find out where your moon is. And once you know where your moon is, that tells you where you're comfortable. And that's where your comfort zone is. You know? Although I'm a Cancerian, my moon is in Leo. Inner child, play, fun, excitement, action. It's fire sign, isn't it? Come on, let's go. That's where I'm comfortable. I am comfortable as a person when I'm doing things. If my moon was in Cancer, I would probably be more comfortable around home and family. If my moon was in Taurus, I would probably go, gosh, I'd like a traditional meal. Can you see what I mean? So when you're connecting to your inner child, look at your moon. It's really, really helpful. Your rising sign and your ascendant, you can look at all of that on there, but your moon, look at your moon, forget your sun sign for a while. The sun is your vitality and me, what was the purpose of why I'm here and what am I here to do, all of that. But the moon is beautiful. So find out where your moon is and see where you are comfortable. Oh, wow. And you said hello straight away too. Oh, you just want to say a big thank you for the reading of it. Not at all. Look, we discuss whatever needs discussing. If you've got something that you need to actually look at. Carla's talking about booking a reading the other day, and we were fortunate enough to be able to extend and carry on and look at a lot more. And I hope you'll be back at some point if you've got something that's on your mind and you need to navigate the map of what all the background or effects are, Carla, so that you can pick what's right for you. Again, what makes you comfortable. The Six of Cups is very much about allowing yourself to have that curious mind and be comfortable and have fun like a child again. And we often say, oh gosh, I don't have time. We need to make time. We need to play. Have some time out. Even if you're just going for a walk, if you're just taking a trip along a lane and you just look up and you see the grass, or you walk in the puddles, or you go to the beach. One of the greatest places that you can revitalize yourself, if you're lucky enough, is to go to the beach. Because all the elements are there, aren't they? It doesn't matter whether the sun's out or not. It's up there behind the clouds. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean you are not getting the element of sun. And that's your vitality. And the air, of course, is there, moving around us all the time. You're grounded by the sand and you've got the water. Perfect. But if you're not lucky enough to go to the beach, find somewhere where you can connect and ground yourself and feel revitalized by just being in the outdoors. Something natural, like behind me, whichever. It's all really good. So the Six of Cups can indicate that you are definitely taking a walk privately down memory lane, and you might be reluctant to actually share that with other people because it's private. Depends. And it may be nothing to do with your natal chart. It might be just a case of at this moment in time in your life, that's just what it is. So looking at the boy and the girl passing the white flowers, they might even be daffodils. That's white daffodils, aren't they? Looks like it. We don't know. But they've got this beautiful country home behind them made of solid stone. And that man is walking along with a stick in his hand, and maybe he's just parading the premises and keeping them security safe so that they can play and not feel threatened. And those beautiful goblets of white flowers are there to symbolize happiness, cheer, and return. It's a card of nostalgia. The guy that's walking in the background there might be us revisiting home, symbolic of us revisiting our past. There's a lot of symbology that you can go, hey, what's that all about? As I said, very unusual, but I am deeply been affected by this card in a beautiful way. To not complain. It's actually really nice and a great reminder to get in touch with the inner child when we come off some really busy projects. And it has been that for quite some time, too long. So it's a reminder to actually connect. And the children in the foreground can represent the past and the fact that we can make it the present. It doesn't have to be in the past. It's a reminder to bring it back. And it's an ongoing factor in our lives, in our current life, in a very positive way. And something very positive from the current or the seeker's past is visiting the present, which is reminiscent and sentimental. And memories can re-emerge from our present consciousness. And so generally this is a card that shows our past becoming our present again. How lovely. And if we've got a problem, this card indicates that the root causes will be found in our childhood, just like in our natal charts in astrology. You know how I say how important that is to your cards, and that's what the causes do. That's why they expand everything, because we look at the planets, we look at the ruling planets, we look at the actual significance of the symbology, we look at the numerology, we look at the colors. You're only getting little bits here on YouTube. Imagine that and honestly, there is so much in each and every single video. So much. But you don't to know it all. You just need to know the bits that resonate with you. And somewhere, that's all been stored for the future to go, gosh, I remember something about that card now. Yeah. It talked about that, like this. I could talked about the fact there might be a reunion. Somebody contacted me on Facebook, where you are ex-pupils, alumni. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Where you are previous student, the people that you went to school with are reminiscent and wanting to connect. They're showing photos. They're saying, hey, how are you? Did you hear about so-and-so? We're having a reunion. Who can make it? All this kind of thing. Where is everybody? There's a gathering. How far have people got to come? And is it possible even? But it's all that is part of you. And it's a reminder sometimes that this is where the answers can be found in our life. And I've shared with you, it's something that, I am going through, and the answers are there. And I know exactly what it's talking about. It's not just the inner child and all the rest of it. It's relocation and things like that for me. So there's so much there that's so personal, and it's beautiful. It's not sad. It's something about projecting into the future. Looking at our surrounding cards, it can tell us what the clues are. And an important theme here is our childhood, where to look, what to do. Yeah, in the case for me, it's definitely a bit of relocation. Why? I want the variety of where I used to live back in my life again. Culture, variety. It's really that. Sometimes where you are can actually say, yeah, I want more variety than this. This is wonderful. Big change, but there you go. And one that I'm happy to make. So it's an important theme of childhood, children, and lots of different factors are coming up for us to look at. So it's allowing our emotion, because it's an emotional card, the Element of Cups, and allowing us to look at our past, and maybe even that someone from our past could re-emerge. I need to remind you, this is where the podcasts are. So if you're new here or you want to go back, look up my podcast on YouTube. There you go. They're all there collated for you. There it is, my YouTube channel, Tarot with Anne-Marie. And you can go and look at anything that you really want to do. Okay? I talked about astrology, and you can certainly look at that in any way that you want. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. What a beautiful card. Colours, everything about her makes us want to go off and play, doesn't it? It really does. So much fun, so much there that we can actually benefit from. And of course, connecting to that part of ourselves. The answers can come from us being a child. That we look, it can be in the music we're listening to, it can be the books we're reading. I read so many spiritual books, but reminded myself how much I love novels. The joy of that. Beautiful Agatha Christie, Josephine Cox, anything like that. I've always been someone that's reading something spiritual, but I needed to remind myself to lighten it up. Also, programs, going back. What did we watch when we were at school? What did we watch when we were doing this in our life? What music were we listening to? Where did we used to go? What did we used to do? Cultural things, wonderful things. Don't forget, it's a card of sorry. It's also a card of forgiveness and allowing ourselves to actually say, you know what? I want that simplicity back in my life. I want to be back in touch with my inner child. Have a look at your moon sign, where you're comfortable. I tell you, once you understand that, will help you understand yourself. And if you understand yourself and you're looking at tarot, you can actually understand your cards. That's the key. That's what I'm giving to you. Okay? Don't forget, on Tuesday, we'll be using this card as combinations with changing the major arcana card and keeping the Six of Cups so that we can do that. The courses are being updated. So as soon as we have that up, I will show you and tell you. For those of you that's bought the older courses, you will be able to go straight in to the new courses. There's just tons more. I had more time, so I was able to extend them. And yeah, it'll take you right up to that professional level. The courses, you can use it how you want to use it. And that's really important. If you want to spend time looking at your major arcana cards because you prefer to actually spend more time with them, then do that. If you have something where the court cards have always made you go, gosh, don't know what to do, look at those. If you want the method, part 1 of my signature course, quite simply, Tarot with Anne-Marie, Mastery on Tarot, is the method. It's structured. It's there to support you. It's there to help you answer anything that's difficult, where you worry. Customers ask you things that you think, oh gosh, that puts me right off. Nope, you've got all that support here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but you've got the courses as well. So yeah, if you want to grow in tarot, there's something there for you. And if somebody wants to actually spend time with the swords because they don't get it, that's what you can do, isn't it? Okay? So, thank you so much to everybody. Please, if you think that someone would benefit from any of these videos, because you know that they are actually wanting to keep growing in their tarot journey, do share it. And don't be a stranger. Come and say hello. You're welcome to come on as a guest, even if you've just got started. Oh, what deck should I use? So I've got this. What do you think? All right. I'll see you soon. Have a beautiful week and take care of yourself and each other. Enjoy your weekend and see you on Tuesday. Bye for now. I will play you out as we usually do with this